over 120 hours volunteered. $332,488 of free food given away. A new executive director. All in 2020 alone. It may seem like a lot. Dozens of workshops. Accessibility everywhere. Soil testing. Her veggie van. This is just what we do. This is how we serve. This is us. We are your local Cornell Cooperative Extension, and we are Niagara County proud. You may have heard of us. You've probably come to our fair. You've definitely benefited from us. But regardless, we are here for you in every single way. Eager to sell your own produce? Then try our Learn to Farm program. Struggling in life? Need food? Our new pharmacy program's there for you too. And if you need a wedding or 2 or 30, we've got you back too. Want your kids to change the world? Then 4-H is for you. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. Cornell Cooperative Extension of Niagara County has got you covered. Ah, yes, the Niagara County Fair. A tradition constantly being passed down through time because of its legacy, one of memories that last a lifetime. Rides, yo-yos, insurance companies, sword swallowing, dairy products, miniature horses, camels, t-shirts, royalty, sheep costumes, you name it, we've got it. Young or old, short or tall, Niagara County resident or out-of-towner, 4-H'er or not. But this great event, a celebration of agriculture, family, youth, memories, and pride in where we come from, hasn't always been this diversely popular. Take a step back with me. We are in an entire different world. Lockport, New York. The year is 1821. April 2nd. Many local citizens are excited over big news. Erie and Niagara counties, yes, the same one that are modern-day rivals in 4-H Horse Bowl, were not always separate. In fact, this is what started our county fair. It was a celebration of an important division. The separation of Niagara and Erie County, which had both been part of a formerly larger Niagara County. This was the only ever Niagara-Erie Fair. The first more official and consistent county fair happened 20 years later at Lockport Town Square, which you now know as City Hall. 'Twas October 1st, a date that has now coincidentally become important to 4-H. Its 1841 visitors would have enjoyed a smaller variety of displays in the same essence of our current county fair, like fascinating silkworms and intricate crafts. The fair in 1854 marked another important tradition. For the next 50 years, crowds gathered to view a great matchup. Every fair featured a lacrosse game between the Seneca and Tuscarora Native American nations. This wasn't the only time athletics were in the picture. Once the fair moved to a 20-acre plot of land, fairgoers partaked in the buzz of baseball and other distinguished sports games. The equine world was already spreading its wings with horse racing, as well as foot and bike races. A century ago, the fairgrounds began being called just that. In 1922, a plot of land was bought that was home for the fair for 25 years. One of his traditions was its ever so popular grandstand and racetrack. Let's take a moment to appreciate where we are now. Think about all the things you've done here, learned here. Think about all the things you've seen done for your community here. Think about all the things land-grant universities and their extensions have done for the public since 1914, and how this very plot of land has been our vehicle for that. So much has truly happened here, and so much will. From farmer training to food giveaways, soil testing to planning classes, allowing people for a place to grow their food business or tie the knot, forever, and of course, throwing the best county fair. All to help you and others become the best version of yourself and live your most informed and successful life. The world has seen so many changes since then, and if 2020 taught us anything, it is that change truly is the only constant in life. And in the past 60 years, this property has truly helped us change for the betters, all because of a very important 1952 purchase. CCE Niagara obtained the present-day Niagara County Fairgrounds, yes, where we are all sitting right now, in 1952. At that time, the fairs were able to make a comeback stronger than ever after the 5-year hiatus, and pandemic aside, has not stopped since, and never will. Since that time, fair has changed in so many ways, and you have lived to see it. You have seen different shows come and go, new vendors, so many new ideas, so many 4-H projects come and unfortunately some go. So much of our county's history. The way our fair changes, offers so much, and overcomes obstacles is truly a representation of our county and how strong and diverse the citizens are. Things are what you make them, which is why the Niagara County Fair is so spectacular, because of the people we are representing and coming together with. It is today, always has been, and always will be. So what do modern fair goers even enjoy anyway? Well, I guess that depends on where you want me to start the list. Fair is typically held the first week of August. 2021's dates were August 4th through August 8th. Wednesday through Sunday. Fair is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are typically around $5 a day per person and around $20 for the week. But of course, if you are a vendor, a friend or fair, a 4-H'er, or involved with CCE for other ways, you may get a free pass. If you drive down Lake Avenue, passing the fairgrounds on your right-hand side, you'll enter in the last gate. If you come from the other direction, then the first gate is where you'll enter. As you enter through gate 5, one of the first things on your right that you'll notice is our awesome equine area. The equine area is filled with activities, day in and day out of fair, starting at 9. From Wednesday through Saturday, we have a variety of 4-H horse shows going on, and Sunday is an open show that any equestrian can participate in. As you drive down further, you'll pass seemingly empty fields that have turned into parking lots. But in the off months, these fields are actually for growing hay. CCE has a long-time partnership with local farmers, allowing a unique opportunity to put quality hay in our community. While you're still driving, you'll pass some of the shows. You might see the ends of the rides or the food trucks, and you'll likely drive next to or behind 4 barns. These are where some of the animals at fair are housed. And in the white building, the Egg Ed building, there are always something cool to see, from dog shows to a goat knowledge contest. This is truly a great place to learn about 4-H, animals, and STEM, so make sure you check it out during fair. In front of all of these barns is one of the hit locations at fair, the main show ring. There is constantly animals in here where 4-Hers spread their rings and show what they've got. There are also several fun activities open to the public, like a lumberjack competition. Next to the barns and show rings is the milk bar, which is manned by 4-H volunteers. There's also the admin building, and next to that, the greenhouse, which is a great place to check out. It, like all of our buildings, is completely handicap accessible. In front of that is the training center, where events like this annual dinner are held. This fair was the unveiling of our new Gratitude Warren exhibit. This is the home of the kitchen. And for fair, this is where you can find all the 4-H exhibits that are not animal-based, from baking items to sewing, photography to recycled crafting, and anything creative you could think of. Next to the training center, across the parking lot, and adjacent to the admin building, is the Merchants Building. In the Merchants Building, you can find all sorts of cool local businesses, from goat soap to health insurance alternatives, and performing arts and beyond. There really is something cool that you've probably never heard of. Next to the Merchants Building is the very important first aid tent, and across from that is the Niagara County Sheriff's tent, which always has some great artifacts, friendly faces, and adorable police dogs for you to check out. Behind the first aid tent is a personal favorite of everyone's, a great display of tractors. All of these tractors can be seen in Wednesday's parade. These aren't just farm equipment, they are family members. They mean so much that some of them have their own names, like John, express a goal, share an important message, have been passed down in love from generation to generation. And if nothing else, it's always exciting when the owner of 15 of the parade tractors is finally driving one for himself. You know who you are. Stop by to see some beautiful classic cars as well. In the two paths next to the admin building, you will find some food trucks and other vendors as well. Since CCE embraces healthy living in everything we do, you may find a smoothie bike, the veggie van, a breastfeeding station from the health department, occasional blood drives, and of course, free COVID vaccinations this year. Some other things you may find are vendors selling interesting games, fundraising with dunk takes, and favorite food trucks like David's Famous Lemonade, The Meeting Place, We Are Nuts, Parker's Pit, and everything else your stomach can think of. If you keep walking straight from the training center, you'll reach our very own Midway, with safe rides, games, prizes, and fun for people of all ages and size. This is a great stop. And finally, last but not least, be sure to check out the pony rides, unusual exotic animals and camel rides, petting zoo, or kangaroo encounter. Now that we have seen all of fair together, what should you expect? Well, if you are here early enough, you may be fortunate enough to view the flag raising, enjoy the national anthem, and come together as one as we start off the day with both the Pledge of Allegiance and the 4-H Pledge, usually led by our very own 4-H royalty youth. The Boy Scouts walk around every morning selling breakfast sandwiches. Most vendors and rides are open for the entirety of the fair day. Our hired entertainment, which ranges anywhere between escape artists to trick dogs and BMX biking to sword swallowing, has several showtimes posted throughout the day. Each day truly brings something new to the fair, like car shows, the fire truck parade, and of course, 4-H animal shows. Speaking of 4-H, what does 4-H bring to the fair? Well, it helps to... I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and think about one thing. What is 4-H? Have a word in your head, an idea, or a memory? Great. Well, I regret to inform you, but you are incorrect, in the best way possible. Your answer to what 4-H is could never be 100% true, because 4-H has so much to offer. No single word, memory, or personal account or story could ever account for all that 4-H is, which is the beauty of 4-H. From public presentations to day camp, craft workshops to fair, there is so much to 4-H. Unfortunately, there is a cliche that 4-H is just agriculture and showing, but that simply is not true. 4-H has so much to offer. For adults and kids alike, it is one of the most rewarding organizations to get yourself involved in as a volunteer or a youth. Now, it might seem like I'm being vague or cliche, and that's because I am. For the purpose of this video, worlds and worlds of 4-H information has unfortunately been omitted. No video, write-up, journal, article of any sort could ever explain 4-H in its entirety. This is just how diverse and awesome this organization is. I could lecture you straight for 3 hours and we'd still be at the very beginning. I strongly encourage you to get involved. Even if you're an adult with no 4-H experience as a kid, we love your input. We love your skills. We love what you have to bring to our kids. Please enroll your kids. Even if you don't know what they're be interested in, they might really take to archery or robotics, or love publishing their own stories, or entering their sewing projects that bring back memories of grandma and fair. There really is so much, so get involved and ask your questions. Any 4-H'er loves to answer your questions, as we know what this great organization has done for us and what it can do for you. As far as 4-H and the fair go together, 4-H in a lot of ways is the big draw of the fair. You might not always remember what the insurance company rep said to you or how your nuts tasted, but you might always remember that cow that licked you or that sheep whose stall sign says that its owner wants to go to the same college as you. Most people with families don't come to fair specifically to see our hired entertainment, but because they like the atmosphere of fair, and the atmosphere of fair is as fun as 4-H. All of the animals, minus the petting zoo animals, are 4-H animals. Kids have worked months and months of these years with these animals, some of which they own and some of which they lease, to get them show ready, conditioning, training, practice, brushing. There's a lot more that goes into taking care of an animal than you may think. As far as the training center exhibits, these are the crafts that kids put their heart into. Some of these crafts might be a vintage recipe that reminds them of their great-grandmother, or a sewing pattern that they're finally able to complete. Like I said, I'm leaving out a lot of details, so please be curious. But one of the biggest 4-H draws of fair is our amazing livestock auction. Tons of generous buyers flock to the fairgrounds Friday night to buy the best pig, rabbit, chicken, goat, cow, and sheep meat ever. The online 2020 auction raised over $80,000, and the 2020 auction was even more record-breaking than that. The auction kids work on their project for months and months. They train these animals, feed them, watch their weight, all to say goodbye to their friend at the end. This is a great opportunity because the 4-H'ers are always in the barn, even not the auction kids, and love answering questions, so you truly get to learn where your food comes from. Most of the money from the auction goes directly to the 4-H kid, and the rest of it supports the cost of the auction and other amazing CCE programming. Day in and day out, Niagara County Fair wouldn't be the same without the 4-H'ers, their energy, their spirits, their projects, their animals, and all in all, them. Approximately 1,000 people participate in Niagara County 4-H activities a year, with about 600 currently enrolled members of 35,000 people who come to Niagara County Fair every year. 4-H really has a big impact. All in all, CCE Niagara is such an asset to our community and your life in ways that you don't even know. Our friendly staff is always happy to answer your questions on anything from nutrition to 4-H and beyond. We are truly committed to using the newest research, some of which we do ourselves, to help you make your life better. The success of the people we serve is our success too. Nothing like helping someone and the smile they give to you as a return. Thank you, community, for being there for us just as much as we are there for you. Thank you, community, for letting us guide you, lead you, preach you, teach you. Thank you, community, for letting us make an impact on your life. At the end of the day, Cornell Cooperative Extension of Niagara County is here and always have been and always will be for you to use in any way to make the best better for yourself, your family, your business, your club, your community, your country, and our world.